Next, we have Prasanna Pendse. He is a thought worker as well. He is associated with Asha for Education, an NGO. He has been involved in Tamil Nadu tsunami relief. He knows 5 languages, and he's a perfect example of side effects of pairing. He married to the girl he was pairing with. Welcome, Prasanna.
One of the things that I did not realize when she was asking me to introduce myself, I was also, me and my friends wrote India's first search engine, Agni, back in 1995. We also wrote India's first e-commerce site selling Bollywood music and videos and so on. So, and at that time I also created a site about history, interested in history. So I came across this book, and that's what I'm going to talk about is, I don't need to move forward. Okay. So, for the partition of India, it's kind of a sensitive topic, but I don't think this particular thing is particularly controversial. So, there are a bunch of, everybody had a particular, these are kind of quotes that we've heard about, two-nation theory, Savarkar having his thoughts, Gandhi having his way of looking at it. And in 1947, all said and done, all hell broke loose, lots of carnage. But, do you know who that guy is? He's not Mountbatten. Here's Victor Hope, second Marquis of Linlithgow, Viceroy of India from 1936 to 1943. He was the linchpin in creating the partition. That's kind of not well-known fact. So this book that I read, the author, Narendra Singh Sarila, he was brought up in the British, his father was in the India Council in London, he was brought up talking to all of these guys after they come back to London. He worked as an ADC when he was in the British Army to Mountbatten. So he had personal conversations with these people, and when he went back, when a lot of these documents are declassified from the British military, he went and researched these things and came out with a British perspective to the partition of India. So all the things that we think about were not actually particularly relevant. Not religion, not about divide and conquer, not about anything, but simple fact. When you look at this map, this is the world in 1910. The pink areas are British-controlled areas. That's what the British care about. They get oil from the Middle East, they get spices and silk from China, they ship it through the Suez Canal, they get it to England. What's that? That's the border with Russia. Since 1801, the only thing that the British were concerned about is Russia. If Russia takes over the Balochistan coast that you see, they will disrupt. That's the Balochistan coast. If Russia is that close, this here is Russia. If Russia comes and takes the Baluchi coast, they can attack all British vessels heading to England. That's what they care about. They don't care about anything else. What they wanted an air base in the high area of Northwest Frontier Province. They wanted to protect the Baluchi coast. Another fact that's happening around this time, 1937, there are actually elections that happened in India as a part of the Legislative Assembly or something, the federal thing that they were doing. And in the Northwest Frontier Province, it was 95% Muslim. There was a Congress coalition government. In Balochistan, there was a separatist Balochistan movement, which was also secular, primarily Muslim constituents. The British saw this as a problem. Congress had too much power. They controlled, so they had to break this. So before the World War II, what they cared about is how do we beat the Congress. And because since they had the legislative power, they couldn't just throw them away. So that's where they started giving Jinnah and particularly some power to an influence. And so he was actually talking about how does he get control of things. Then in 1940, Congress resigns from all the governments it has. Why? The reason for that is that Congress wanted Britain to give them a list of things that Britain is going to do after the World War II. They don't. They resign. Jinnah calls it a Himalayan blunder. He's then given all the governments of Northwest Frontier Province and Balochistan and all those other areas, and they get months after the Congress resigns, he announces the two-nation theory. And that precipitates the whole thing that happens. So all the things that we think about as far as why the partition happened and all of these things may have nothing to do with it at all. So the lesson that I learned from this is perceptions of what other people are thinking are incredibly important. So when no matter how passionate we are about something, we tend to be very narrow-minded about